Hello folks, welcome to another video here in Sim de la Microsoft. We begin our journey today, as it says on the tin, Talkeetna. I love how the Yanks put the name of the airport, paint it onto the ramp. Kind of helps when you get lost, or when you're feeling lost, or when you're just an old, tired virtual pilot like myself. We're in Talkeetna, folks. What are we doing in Talkeetna? This is a continuation of a world tour that I began last year. Let me talk a little bit more about that by showing you a map. And here is said map. So about 6 months or so ago, I think, I began an FS Economy World Tour by picking up an aircraft, a CJ4. Sorry, we have no imagery here. What? I'm trying to do a video here, Google. Come through with the goods. There we go. Picking up an aircraft, a brand new CJ4 here in, what was the name of the place? Panama City, Florida, folks. Brand spanking new. I paid like 1.2 million virtual dollars for it, for the express purpose of flying it around the world. Attempting my 84th attempt at a world tour. And look, I've got a fair way. It's been a bit of a struggle, but the route that you see on your screen at the moment, there's red lines connecting to the blue markers, reflect the world tour to date. So I began here in Florida and then flew down to South America and did mainly a coastal sort of route. FS Economy was guiding the legs. I was basically looking for assignments going roughly in the direction I wanted to head, and that kind of took me to all of these locations. I did do a video a while ago. I think it was one of these legs down here. I think it might have been from up to Houston, I think, which I posted. But most of the flights I'm doing without making videos. Today's an exception because I thought, why not? And it kind of gives me, I needed a bit of a kick to get this world tour back on track. So I thought I would share it via a video. Anyway, we did some flights in the States, not a lot. This sort of deviation here was to make a bunch of virtual coin. I picked up a couple of really juicy assignments going from wherever that is, Lake Havasu, up to Nebraska, Alliance, and then back across to Medford, and made, a bunch of virtual coin doing so. And then from there we've kind of done coastal route. We've visited Tofino, Port Hardy, Klawok, I think. No, that's Sandspit. Terrace, that's Klawok. I knew I'd get there eventually. Then Juneau, and then we sat in Juneau for the best part of 3 months because I couldn't find an assignment which was kind of going in this direction that I thought was worth the trouble, until I found one sort of by pure chance going from Juneau up here to Talkeetna, which is where we begin our journey today. Made a little bit of coin. This leg takes us from Talkeetna across to Nome, and I'm going to be doing this basically dead heading. I can't find an assignment going in this direction that's kind of means that I need to fly deadhead, because I want to keep going. I want to go in this direction. This will be my last stop in the States before heading into Russia. Yes, I'm probably going to have to spend some time in Russia. And then continuing down through Asia and down to Australia. I don't think I'll get to New Zealand, but we'll see. And then back up through Asia, Africa, Middle East, Europe, and then across the ditch back to where I began, whenever that is. And the way I'm going, it could be 2032 rather than 2022. Anyway, world tour, leg number 41, according to this map. That's what we're doing. Talkeetna to Nome, about 400 miles. Actually, let me show you the exact route we're going to take in Little Nav Map. So here's Little Nav Map. And my apologies to anyone who's bored at this point. This is probably more for my benefit, just setting things up and getting myself back on track for this world tour. But maybe it's of interest to others. I don't know. If you're watching this, thank you. So Talkeetna is our point of departure. And we're going to go via the waypoint Fitz, and then we're going to go up via McGrath, Unalakleet, and cross the sound, which I can't remember the name of. What's that sound? If I zoom in, Norton. There we go, Norton Sound, and that's basically where, as we cross the coast, we'll begin our descent and end up in Nome. That is the plan. So about 446 nautical miles. Little nav map's telling me it should take us an hour and 31 minutes, which would be lovely. That's just the amount of time I have. Let's do it, folks. Right, at the holding point, runway 36 here in Talkeetna, folks. Let me just make sure I've got my shit sorted. Stroby's landing can come on. We've got pitos on. Trim set. Flaps are now set. It's been a while since I've flown this beast. Great aircraft with the working title mod. I hear there's a new version sort of in development as well. That's what but I heard that a while ago. I don't know whether that was actually ever confirmed by working title. Anyway, not important right now. I've got the terrain painting on this display. There is a little bit of terrain around. Beautiful day here in Talkeetna. Balmy 5 degrees Celsius. This is a custom, let me take you outside while we're here, custom rendition of Talkeetna, freeware. There'll be a link to that in the description. Look at that, beautiful. Orbex Alaska as well. There we go, runway 36. The beast. It is, yeah, really enjoy this aircraft. Haven't flown it for a while, which probably means I'm going to fly it particularly badly. I mean, I always fly things badly, but some days particularly badly. Local barrows set. We're all good. So we're going to kind of runway heading, climb over these hills, and then we'll take up our track towards Fitz. Runway 36. There we go. If you happen to hail from this part of the world, give us a shout in the comments. Never got to Talkeetna in real life. Did spend some time in Alaska though, and love flying there in the virtual sense. Right, I think we're good to go. Should we introduce some power? I think we should. Let's go. We'll call that power set. Beautiful acceleration. Airspeed's alive. Nice low rotate speed here. We'll get there very, very quickly like now. Away we go. Positive rate, gear can come up. Beautiful. Now we don't have the flight director bars. That's what my dog was alerting me to. Weren't you, little one? Thank you, appreciate it. It flaps up. Something you get used to, folks, on my channel is generally most videos will feature at least one of the dogs chiming in. And you're hearing the little one at this point. Righto, safely away, folks, for the moment. Continuing to accelerate. And we'll go, we'll get Georgie to do some flying, I think. I've got to remember what Georgie's going to do. Flight director. Autopilot. There we go. Maybe a little bit of heading hold as we sort of make the turn towards Fitz. Heading, thanks Georgie. Continuing around to the left, mate. Thank you. We'll sort of give ourselves an intercept track, maybe 240 or something like that. My mouse is really pissing me off here. 240, away we go. Probably some flight level change mode. Might be good. And we'll kind of set that for maybe... can we set that for something else? Have I forgotten to fly this thing? Or how to fly it? I have. 203, what's going on here? That's how I've got to dial flight level change. We'll climb out at about 220 knots. There we go, climbing well. 3,400 feet a minute, nothing to sneeze at. What did I say earlier, folks? Particularly badly when I haven't flown for a while. We need a better intercept track than that. I get 230, Georgie. Thanks, mate. Take an outside shot for you, folks, to end this segment as we say farewell to the residents of Talkeetna, Alaska, and head towards Nome. I'll see you in the cruise. Alright, established in the cruise here at flight level 380. We're doing Mark 686, 0.686 at the moment. We're about 30 miles to the east of McGrath at this time, and our aircraft is forecasting Nome in 49 minutes from now, and we should have 581 kilos of fuel on board at that time. Now, things are going pretty well. Beautiful day, nice conditions. We are fighting a headwind of sort of 20 knots. Take you outside, give you a look at the world. This is what I enjoy about a world tour. Every single flight presents a different picture, but all the pictures are gorgeous here in the Microsoft Sim. Really, really nice. There you go. It's sort of central Alaska, folks. So what else is happening in the world of simulation? Well, I know that the PMDG 737, I think it's the Dash 700 variant, isn't it? Is inbound, and I'm sure that many flight sim enthusiasts, otherwise known as simmers, are chomping at the bit to get their hands on that one. It's been a long wait, but it seems to be getting, well, it is getting closer. It seems to be very close. And there are some other aircraft which are inbound, and I've spoken before about my excitement at the thought of the Cessna 310. I hope that's close. We've got an Easter holiday break coming up. Just putting it out there, universe. Be lovely to have the 310 and spend some time in it over that period. On the slightly negative side of the ledger, Captain Sim have been at it again in recent days and have released essentially a shell of an aircraft without a virtual cockpit. I think it's the C-130 or something, isn't it, that they've released? $15. And they've released it to much anger in the simming community. Or is it that much anger? And I probably will go against the grain here. I'm not going to buy it. Let me state that. I'm not a salesperson for Captain Sim. I'm not a big fan of their work. I think they released one decent product a really long time ago. It was the 727. I don't have any of their stuff, and I'm not trying to convince anyone or influence. Always wanted to be an influencer. No, I didn't. I find that title ridiculous. Anyway, so they've released this shell, and you basically can only fly it from this view here, right? The external view. And with the instruments, I've got them turned off here in my sim. I don't like them cluttering up the screen. But you fly it from outside for $15. And yeah, look, it's caused a bit of a furore amongst the serious simming community. Is that the right label to use? The serious simmers, hardcore simmers. I don't consider myself to be one of those people, but people pretty unhappy. Boycott Captain Sim. They shouldn't be in business. They're a joke. They shouldn't be, the main flight sim sort of news website shouldn't be reporting on them and giving them attention, and perhaps people with YouTube channels like yours truly shouldn't be mentioning them and all that sort of stuff. Look, they're going to find a market for that stuff. At the end of the day, the simming community is made up not just of serious simmers who sort of treat this in a semi-professional or professional way. There's a whole lot of enthusiasts, gamers maybe you call them, who just enjoy firing up the sim on their Xbox, no less, and going for a fly and having a view like you see on your screen right now. So Captain Sim will find a market for that product, and if they find a good market, it will encourage them to release probably even more products like that, and the serious simming community will have to get used to it. No one's asking you to buy it. as long as Captain Sim or whoever decides to go down this road, because there'll be copycats, as long as they're being really clear on what they're offering, as long as you know what you're buying, is it really such a bad thing? I don't know. I think sometimes the simming community gets their knickers in a knot unnecessarily. And there's a particular forum. Starts with A and ends with M. 5 letters. Might give you a clue. Where sometimes it just sounds like a bunch of angry old bastards. They've got nothing better to do with their time. Yeah, I don't have a presence at that location. I do check it from time to time. And I do learn a lot from it. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes I just think, guys, you're hanging on too tight. Just enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your sim the way you want to sim. That's what it's all about. Folks, we'll continue on our run across to Nome. About 45 minutes from now, we'll be touching down. I'll see you for the approach. Alright, just as I start thinking about our approach into Nome, I thought I'd share this website with you. If you're not aware of it, there are others which do similar things. This is one I like, or I'm liking at the moment at least. It's called meta-taf.com. And it'll give you a nice representation of the current weather at a given airport. So you're currently looking at Nome. So it says that it's VFR. It gives you a temperature in Fahrenheit. Wind is an northeasterly at 7 knots. And it actually shows you, which I really like with the runway orientation. That's nice. That's nice. And then a wind speed next to it. Shows you the cloud layers. And then it also gives you the actual meta code for those that like that sort of things. Yeah, it gives you an idea of what the temperature trend is doing, what the wind speed is doing, and what the QNH is doing as well. So I like it in terms of helping me to set up for an approach. I thought I'd share it while I've got it open. Alright, on approach into Nome, folks, down through 6,000. Just 3 miles shy of the Nome VOR at this point, and our current sort of flight plan has us out to that 5-mile final sort of waypoint that the aircraft injects when you select a visual approach. What we might do is we might go direct to that waypoint right now. We're going to go direct RX-03 execute, and that'll take us out towards the southwest. We've got the VPath, the VNAV active, and it's been doing a stellar job. We may not fly the full leg out to that waypoint. We may try and cut it a little bit short, particularly if we become visual earlier than expected. We're down through 5 now. We should be out of this cloud by about 3. We're currently out over the water, just crossing the coast. Here's our runway. Make sure we configured here. We've got belts and safety button pressed. Landing light is on. Pitot and static heat is on. Everything else is good. We've got our speed pretty well under control, down through 212 knots. We're almost at idle at this point. We may need to deploy a little bit of speed brake just to slow us down under that 200 knots so we can get some flap out. Looking at a VREF, which is 97. So an approach of 104 and a VREF of 97. Okay, we've plugged that in. That should appear here on the tape. We should be at a cloud by about 3. It doesn't look like it though, does it? Oh yeah. We should be okay. I'll just change that view. Down through 3. So we're down at under 200 knots now, so we can think about flap and gear and all that stuff. Local Barrow was 1027. That's good. been an enjoyable flight. It's been a very clear flight until the latter stages of the descent. So our strip is currently at about a 3, becoming a 4 o'clock position. Thanks, mate. I was hoping to be visual. We're becoming visual, aren't we? It's visual enough for me. Yeah, let's do some flying. Let's
autopilot.
Thanks, mate. Let's do some flying here. Let's take flap 15. The leg down towards the runway has now become active. My little dog also is becoming active. Alright, we might fly through the extended centre line here just a little bit, but that's okay. Come back to idle. Need to slow us down. I might even take gear to help that happen. We're going to be a little bit high on profile here. Flying through the centre line actually helps. I thought we'd become visual a lot earlier than that. And that's alright. We can handle it. Speed coming back. We're soon getting towards flap extension, or flap 35 extension. Yeah, we're going to be okay here. There's flap 35 extension. We're fine. Visibility is, yeah, quite a bit worse than forecast. The speed's coming right back now. We're actually going to have to introduce some power. Runway 03. Bloody hell, this is we should have set up for an instrument approach. Here we go. Never in doubt, folks. Never in doubt. Just need to slow down a little bit.
500.
Retrim. Thanks, mate. Nice wide strip anyway. Alright, gear down, flap down. Correct runway. Look, we got a nice headwind here. A little bit quick. A little bit high. Retrimming, retrimming. Got to remember not to over flare this thing. Geez, that's hard to make out the markings, isn't it? This is a challenging landing, folks. Didn't expect that. Alright, we're going to go idle. It's just as tough to judge the flare. Blind luck here. We on?
Altitude.
I think so. Right, a little bit of braking. Ugh. Jeez, we're just feeling our way. Like a blind man at an orgy. We're just feeling our way through there, folks. Alright, we'll get our flaps coming up. We'll do it. We'll chuck a Yui here. I don't know where the taxiways are. Probably somewhere behind us, are they? I don't know. Bloody Nora, we're going to go off the strip as well. Oh no, keep it on. Oh, snowed in runway. Is there a taxiway here? It kind of looks like there might be one, eh? That's where I need synthetic terrain. Show me what to do. Is this a taxiway of some sort? I'm going to take a punt and say yes. There we go, that's a taxiway. Hey, hello! A pretty popular taxiway by the looks of it. Yeah, he's going. Alright, don't mind me, just coming through. Oh, a little bit of grass work as well. We'll taxi around the side of the Kodiak here. Ah, jeez. Folks, just ignore this last part of the video, particularly if you're a serious simmer. You won't like it. Oh, there's that pink Kodiak again. We saw that in a previous video. It's appeared here in Nome. It follows me like a bloody ghost. Folks, that's been a, well, it's an FS economy run that doesn't make any virtual dollars. It's part of my world tour. Fly from Talkeetna across here to Nome, Alaska. Thanks as always for your company, and we'll see you in another video.